Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And tonight will be my final for this year review of a horror movie for Halloween 2024. This one is going to be a little bit difficult, and I'll explain why right off the bat. If any of you have ever had a loved one or someone you dearly care about or a family member suffer from Alzheimer's, this is not a movie for you. I saw the movie and fell in love with it before my grandfather suffered from Alzheimer's. But after that, I didn't watch the movie again till this year. I thought I had a responsibility to the horror loving public to discuss the film and recommend it to anyone who has not suffered a family member going through Alzheimer's. But I'm just going to give you a warning right off the bat. The film is basically about a government botch up that creates memory loss in innocent people. The film is by Jean Rollin, and idiots look at his name and say, Gene Rollin. No, it's not Gene Rollin, it's Jean Rollin. He has made other horror films, and he's made naughty, naughty films. Does this film have naughty, naughty in it? Yes, it does. In fact, before the film is even 15 minutes in, we have a significant, but not overly, shall we say, specific sex scene. Is there a lot of nudity for a horror film? Yes. Is there a significant amount of violence in terms of violence before 1990s standards? Yes, there is. This is not a film for anyone under the age of 16. I'm not joking. So, dumbasses and meatheads are going to fall asleep in this movie despite the amount of female skin and the amount of violence. And again, I warn you, there is a significant amount of female skin and female violence. But does that mean that the film is dumbass? No, that's why the dumbasses are not going to like it. This is not Chucky. This is not Jason Voorhees. This is more akin to a highly well-conceived David Cronenberg film. Honestly, it is very David Cronenbergian. And it is in many ways very hard to take. Are there significant reasons to watch and enjoy this film? Yes, there are. You get to see what France looked like in 1980. You get to see what fashions looked like in 1980. You get to see what women looked like before the advent of implants and other cosmetic surgeries. It features one of Jean Rollin's favorite ingenues and actresses, Brigitte Lahaie, who has been in numerous exploitation films, and I'll be honest, more than a few adult films. I don't know that by watching them. I know that by looking up her IMDb. And, well, she's been around the block. But she, in this film, is simply a absolute true actress. She really is. She rose above what she had done previously, even though she was in the previous great Jean Rollin horror film, Les Racines de Mort, The Grapes of Death. I know it sounds like a silly title, but when you watch the film, you'll understand it. Maybe I'll talk about that film later, not tonight. But in this film, She is the main character, and she is so devastatingly delicate and devastatingly strong on the other side of the coin, and just trying to find her way. She's one of the people who have fallen victim to the memory loss. You have other characters who are equally as fantastic, and Jean Rollin knows how to use the camera to feature them to best effect. He also sometimes uses the camera, and this is very unlike him in regards to his other films. He also sometimes uses the camera in an almost documentary manner, and that makes things even scarier. Are the scientists working alongside the government, are they significantly raising the hairs on the back of your neck? Yes, they are. You can believe this is going to happen. And after what happened over the past 5 years, look, for some of you, this movie is honestly going to raise a few questions. And the ending is absolutely, in an emotional sense, absolutely brutal. Not in a physical sense. It's not a gory ending, but it is an ending you will never forget. Ever. And if you need a certain amount of violence in your horror films, I don't, but maybe you do. Okay, this is a film for you. If you need a certain amount of nudity in your horror films, I don't, but maybe you do. This is a film for you. But if you can't stand subtitles and you need a film to be dubbed, I'll be honest, this is not the film for you. This film has never been dubbed, according to my knowledge. And you got to find the SRT files, the subtitle files. And then you got to add that to whatever program, whatever application you're using in order to watch Night of the Hunted. Not Night of the Hunter. That's a different film. God damn it. I hate it when people get them confused. Then, look, if you can't watch a film in French and you can't deal with subtitles, look, it's not the film for you. But it is honestly one of the best horror films that has ever been made, and there has been a significant amount of debate on the IMDb about it. Half the people think it's a load of crap. The other half of people think it's one of the best horror films that was ever created. I'm going to leave that up to you to decide. But look, again, if you can't handle subtitles, you're not going to be able to handle this movie because you can't watch it without subtitles. It has not been dubbed. As for the lighting, well, the lighting is good. Jean Rollin generally does great lighting. I think he didn't want to work too hard on the lighting this time around. So he organized the film, and he wrote the film, by the way. He organized the film to be set in a very high skyscraper where there was going to be artificial lighting. Anyway, so he didn't have to worry about mood lighting. This is not a Hammer horror film, folks. This is, again, very Cronenberg. But if you can stay all the way till the end, it's going to be worth it. But please, I reiterate, if you have been traumatized by a family member going through Alzheimer's, this is not the movie for you. But if you haven't, I suggest giving it a try. Anyway, that's my last Halloween recommendation for this year. Thank you very much. Eat the pumpkin pie. and bye bye.